What is going on, guys? Ali here, back again with another Fire Force review for you guys today for Season 2, Episode 18 or 19. I hate it that I keep messing up with the episode number and whatever, but it doesn't matter. The title is The Oze Family. A lot of it all about Maki and everything, and like just to see the dynamic with her family, I thought that, like, obviously from the opening, like the opening theme and everything, you see her being like her family like is kind of in the shadow, and she's standing there by herself, and she's going into the light and everything, being that like she's separated from her family. And I thought that it was in some sort of way that was like bad blood, like negativity with her family, her and her family and everything. But that actually wasn't even the case. I didn't even realize that, like, you know, like they're so loving to Maki, and they know what she's doing is like great and everything. And in general, they're just worried about her. And I feel like they just see her as somebody who like needs to be protected, you know, a bird in the cage, like what Maki said to her dad, and he's like, it seems like you're upset with me. Of course she's upset with you. You told her to go back to the military. It's interesting because I thought, honestly, that there was some sort of negativity or bad blood between Maki and her family, but that wasn't even the case. Like the first like half of this episode, we're seeing like all of them coming together, you know, like Maki's older brother and everything, and her mom and her father, they're all grouping together for a family dinner that they haven't had in like a long time and whatnot. And just like the dynamic itself between everybody, it's like it's a loving family, like it's a really nice family and everything. So I thought that was like really cool to experience and everything. And honestly, I loved the episode. It was more so like, you know, Maki and her family and everything, and then the investigation that like Company 2 is going to do, like investigating the Nether and everything, because the military like hired them specifically to investigate and stuff. So Company 2 has to, you know, team up for a joint investigation with the 8th, because the 8th knows at least somewhat about the Nether, because like they experienced it and everything. So like to see that, being that like, you know, General Oze's like, you know what, the military can't be in the shadows anymore, which I didn't even know, that the military barely knew anything about the evangelists and stuff like that. They were constantly kept in the dark from the Special Fire Force, like knowing everything about the evangelists and the White Clad and what's been going on and whatnot. And so we're going to get a joint investigation with Company 2 and Company 8. But then at the same time, when Captain Obi gets that letter about that, saying that like, you know, Company 8 can refuse, or Special Fire Force can refuse anything that the military asks, even though, like, you know, well, because they're part of the special, like the fire defense agency and whatnot. So they can refuse if they want to, but then at the end of the letter it says Maki is to go back to the military and whatnot. And the conversation, first of all, there was some parts that were really funny and adorable and whatnot, that like, you know, the Silvero or whatever, the donkey that Arthur had, like, is on the wall and everything, and the whole banter of him like fighting Shinra because Shinra had like paper in its mouth. That wasn't even the case. Maki was feeding it like paper, which is very funny and very weird, because like, is the donkey's head alive? I don't freaking know. It looks freaking weird. But like a lot of like the animation and stuff was very funny and cute, like with like Iris and Tamaki and Maki and everything, and like Captain Obi trying to open this pickle jar when Maki left or whatever. So for Tamaki and everything, but he shattered the jar, and like I thought that was funny. A lot of like funny instances in this episode, like it was really good. And then like to here's something that interests me. I think what Hinawa was doing, because Hinawa recruited Maki herself and everything for the Fire Force, and she's like, you know, I'm here, I want to be at the 8th, and this is where I'm supposed to be and whatnot. And she says this like while she was eating with her family, I'm meant to be there, and like I'm helping out and everything. And like the funny banter between her family, that like, oh, she's gaining weight or whatnot because she's like lifting too much, like gaining so much muscle and shit like that. And seeing Maki in the fan service scene, the shower, ooh baby, like she looks so So fine. Like, I love that. A toned girl, female, like, woman. Oh, that's my cup of tea right there. Like, honestly, Maki is literally the epitome of, like, a girl that I'm like, that's my preference. Like, it's so, Maki's best girl to me. And just to see this whole episode play out, you know, when she's like talking with her family and like her brother, which was funny, saying that like, let me see your bicep again. It's like the size of my waist, which was so funny. Oh yeah, and Maki's brother saying that like if she gets any bigger or muscles, if like she's not gonna have any more suitors for possible like getting married and whatnot. I would 100% would love to be a suitor for that beefcake Maki. Let me tell you, she is a beefcake, bro. She's best girl, period, for me. She is absolutely my type. Absolutely. Please, no suitors? I would die to be a suitor for her. Come on now. Her brother's part of like the CID, the Criminal Investigation Division and whatnot, and they had to investigate part of the Nether and everything, and he almost died. Like, it was crazy. Like, they saw an Infernal that was a core, that the core was still intact, but the Infernal was dead. There's a lot of experiments going on in laboratories inside the Nether and whatnot, and very like a lot more like investigative type of like vibe with this episode, but also really seeing like Maki's family, which was really funny that like each character that you see in her family is like has two personalities, you know. You got the General Oze, who's very intimidating in like, you know, in his military form, like talking to his like, you know, his soldiers or the people like in the military and whatnot. But then when he gets home, he thinks Maki's just the most adorable thing in the entire world and everything, and she has like flowers in her head. It's like the most, absolutely the most adorable thing. And then you got her brother, who seems like he's very, you know, formal, stoic kind of thing, but then when his girlfriend calls him, he starts talking like a baby and whatnot, which is hilarious. And then like you got their mom, who looked so polite, but then when her hair starts coming down, she starts acting like she's losing it, talking about like, you pieces of shit, you better listen, sit down, listen to me, you better have like manners. And like, it was so funny the way she was like, she was so polite and everything, and then she just, when her hair was coming down, she turned into like a straight up like, shut your mouth or I'll beat you up and whatnot. Like, it was really funny, and you really get to see like Maki's personality, like why she's like that, when she's like instantly like really girly and whatnot, but then she gets really pissed off like really fast when people like not make fun of her, but she thinks that they make fun of her, and then she starts losing it, like, you know, the gorilla cyclops thing. And like the whole scene was really great and everything, and I loved seeing like, again, like her family isn't like, you know, they don't hate her, despise her for leaving the military or anything. They're just in general worried about her, and you're seeing this episode and everything. And just going back to what Hinawa was saying to her, saying that like the general's daughter, like there's no place in the 8th or in the special fire force for the military general's like little girl and whatnot. When he said that, I'm pretty sure it was testing Maki. I think he was saying that like, hey, like testing her, being like, do you genuinely believe that you belong in the 8th? Like, come at me with that. Say that you belong here or whatever. I think that that's what he was trying to do. But she's like, all right, sir, I'll just leave. Like, she needs, I feel like even though she's extremely tough and strong and everything, she's like a beefcake and everything. Like, I feel like doesn't have the, I want to say confidence in herself in terms of where she genuinely believes where she belongs, you know? And it's in the 8th, and I think Hinawa was thinking that, like, I chose you for a reason, I'm gonna test you right now. I think that's what he was doing. So I feel like next episode or next 2 episodes or something, we're gonna see like her going into the Nether, like ending up going into the Nether and having like a serious confrontation with like her dad and whatnot, saying that like, no, I belong in the 8th. I belong protecting people and everything. The promise that I made you, that I will protect people and save people and whatnot. And that's what she did and everything. But like, her father just can't help worrying and everything and wants to keep her safe, so she takes like a secretarial type of job at the military and whatnot. And this girl that was next to her are kind of like, you know, friends and whatnot, and like she's talking to him being like, oh, like, so like people have always been like, you know, like fawning over us, like, you know, saying that we're adorable and they want us to be protected and things like that. And like, again, I feel like Maki next episode or next 2 episodes is going to confront in like her father's face, being like, I don't belong here. I belong in the Special Fire Force. I belong with Company 8, the 8th company of the Special Fire Force. And I'm excited to see that, because like, obviously she doesn't like get too much development as a character in general, because she's already like super strong and like is like a serious beefcake and everything. But like development mentally within herself, being like, she always talks about how she's like, you know, getting a little big and beefy and strong and whatnot, but like herself mentally hasn't grown hugely or significantly, and I'm excited to actually see that in the next 2 episodes or something like that. So again, it was a good episode. I had a lot of fun with it and everything, and like, again, it was like a lot of fun stuff. I don't know what it is these last 2 episodes. Last episode was freaking amazing and hilarious and whatnot, and like really good with like investigative type of vibe to it. And this episode was an investigative type of vibe with like, you know, Maki's brother and everything, investigating the Nether, that like there's a bunch of laboratories and facilities where they're experimenting on people and whatnot, and like he almost got killed, which was just insane. Like he won't be able to work for a couple months and whatnot. So that was great. But then also baby girl Maki, like, and her family getting a shine this entire episode was great, and I loved it and everything, and it was a good episode. Loved it, loved everything about it, loved everything about Maki and her family and whatnot. And I liked, again, that it was more so that they are just worried about her. They're not mad that she left, they're just worried, you know. And like, I'm excited to see where the confrontation of her and her family, like her against her family, comes in the next couple episodes. Very hyped, very excited about it. So next episode, it seems like Company 2 and Company 8 having a joint investigation and everything. You know, we're gonna see Juggernaut again, my freaking dude. Like, we're gonna see him, and like, just to see the lieutenant, or not lieutenant, but Captain Honda of Company 2 was hilarious. Like, he kept saying that like he was strengthening his neck and his head and everything. What he was doing when Obi and Hinawa and Link came to talk to him about the Nether and everything. I thought that was like really funny. Yeah, again, a lot of funny stuff in this episode. But anyways, great episode with Maki, her family, very good like comedy. Company 2, Company 8 are both doing a joint investigation of the Nether and everything. So I'm excited and hyped about that, and it was good. I thought it was a good episode. I really liked it. Really, not as much as last episode, because last episode was just too funny. I was laughing so hard pretty much the entire time, specifically the second half, and like the first half was just amazing with Iris and Shinra. But this episode was very good, and I loved the spotlight on Maki herself and everything, and I'm excited about the joint investigation and everything. So again, what did you guys think about this episode? Leave down in the comments your thoughts about this episode, your thoughts about what I said and everything. Leave a like on this video if you did. Like the video if you liked anything I had to say. Like the video if you liked the episode itself. Comment down below and everything, and subscribe to the channel for more reviews, vlogs, unboxings, live reactions, and discussion videos and things like that. So gentlemen, stay classy, ladies, stay sexy, but most important, everybody, you gotta stay a little nasty, alright? So peace and love, and I will see y'all later in the next video. Peace out. Peace out. May the force be with you always, plus ultra. And also, I gotta watch The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian came out today too, but man. Anyways, peace out. See y'all later with the next video. Peace out. Plus ultra. I can't do it with my cup. Lato. Peace out, guys.